10 more tips for creating great art. Let's get started. Hi, folks. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. You're in for a treat today. Not a doggy treat, but some artistic information that you can definitely use for your own artistic creative pleasure or to put that cha-ching in your pocket. And you can do both. The great thing about being a creative person is that the well never runs dry. It's open. The carousel is open 24 hours a day, and I've come up with 10 more ways for you to use your creativity for fun or profit. Let's get this party started. How's that for an introduction? A little over the top. But, well, I ate my vitamins this morning. Crumb snatcher, caricature artist, drawer, or children's caricature artist. That's the politically correct term. Let me tell you guys something. Next to their pets, people adore their kids. No matter how bratty, no matter how loud, no matter how ugly, they adore their kids and will pay you, here comes the word, handsomely to draw their kids. And the great thing about doing children's caricature is that kids love to laugh. They've got a great sense of humor. They can laugh at themselves, and they simply go wild if you draw them in an exaggerated and funny way. I would be a little careful, though, on the girls, because girls can sometimes get into this thing where their parents have kind of brainwashed them that they are all princesses. And let's face it, this isn't looking very princessy. But there are those rare girls who like to laugh, like this girl that I drew here. Draw in public places, especially on commuter subway trains. You ever wonder why I start out saying, this is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling? You ever wonder how I got that name? Well, I'm going to make a video about it sometime in the future, but one of the things I did a lot was get on the train and start drawing. I started drawing cartoons and caricatures of everybody. And I did this as a way to warm up while I was on my way to my paying gigs. But that's another story. I tell you, if you get on the train and just draw random faces, it doesn't matter if this thing is a masterpiece or not. It's just the act of surreptitiously drawing the commuter strap hangers. It's just really, it's exciting. It's life drawing on steroids, believe me. And you will find that your ability to observe and draw and exaggerate and cartoon are going to be explosive. I guarantee it. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Marvel Comics, big fan. And at one point, they had this particular title called Not Brand Yuck. Yeah, that was the name of the comic book, Not Brand Yuck. And it drew all of the Marvel superheroes characters, Thor, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man. They all drew them in the most unflattering, most ridiculous ways, and I loved it. And I never got over that. And I found that this drawing your comic book character heroes in a ridiculous, offbeat way is not only very relaxing, but it also works on your character design skills, and it can be a big hit at comic conventions. Just make a couple of posters, flyers, note cards, anything with a superhero's face on it where he looks kind of jacked up, and people will pay you handsomely to do that. I plan on doing that a lot this year myself. Here's the original Rocky. In this one, The Thing. Not to mention Wonder Woman, who I guess is a wonder at any size. Character design, turnarounds. Get in the habit of when you create a character of making 3 drawings: the front view, the side view, and the rear view. This is an excellent exercise for character design drawing. Listen, animators don't just willy-nilly draw characters the way they like or the way they feel. They work with a model, and you have to know what that model looks like from all angles. This is just basic. These 3 angles. You want to expand them and draw 3/4 views also, and draw the characters in different directions. But this is where you start, in sets of 3s. This is a character that I am developing. It's Big Bad Wolf as a kid. And that's another thing you can do. Draw established nursery rhymes. The Big Bad Wolf, Mother Goose, Old Mother Hubbard. Yeah, Old Mother Hubbard. The Kids in the Shoe. All of Jack Horner. All of these nursery rhymes. I'm hoping that your mom did read nursery rhymes to you. I might be dating myself. Maybe that's not done anymore. But I digress. As usual, nursery rhymes are an excellent source of inspiration, and the best thing about it is you can do them your way. This is an excellent way to develop that character design skill. Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. The 3 Little Pigs. Who can forget these nursery rhymes? I can't. I grew up on them. And the thing that I like best about nursery rhymes was the cool, inviting, engaging artwork that accompanied my favorite stories that I read over and over. Becoming a children's book illustrator can be a very fun and lucrative market, especially if you do these stories online, put them in a PDF form, or do it on a social media site aimed at children, or you can just go the traditional print illustration route. The great thing about it is that these stories are familiar, they're engaging, and they are open to all types of illustration styles, whether that be semi-photorealistic or cartoony, like the illustrations that I've done here. If you are as obsessed with the subject of cartooning, caricaturing, comics, comedy, any of those big C's, then you should become a caricature, cartooning, comic blogger, or in this age, vlogger, where you combine text and you combine video. How did I do it? I wrote every day without fail. I wrote something every day. I wrote about what I was working on. I wrote about my process. I gave demonstrations on different materials that I used every day. I wrote on party experiences. I wrote about my experiences on the subway as the subway surfer. A whole video is coming out on that soon, incidentally. And most of all, I wrote for my own enjoyment and my own amusement. It wasn't at first to gain any type of popularity. I really thought people would just laugh at me anyway. I was surprised that I got up to over 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 people who I didn't know resonated with something that I had to say, and it led to quite a few jobs. So being a comic cartoonist, caricaturist, video blogger, vlogger, can lead to something that's financially lucrative. and increase your visibility. I've gotten work and kudos from people from Japan, from Australia, from England, and I've actually I was instrumental rather in putting a lot of people to work who followed my advice. This is an excellent, excellent way to make yourself stand out in the social media crowd, and I highly, highly recommend it. But do it every day. That's it. Visual art has a long, outstanding position for politics and social activism. Maybe that's you, and if that is, then you can lend your talents to create PSA art. That stands for Public Service Announcement type of art. Like I have here, I've created this particular work, Mask Up, appealing to a hip-hop crowd. Wow, I almost couldn't say that. Appealing to a hip-hop crowd. That's my character there. Be safe. He's wearing the mask. I created this during the pandemic era where people were reluctant to wear masks. It didn't look cool. People didn't really like it. So I thought that this was something that I could create awareness on the issue and just make wearing the mask more palatable. You know, you have the mask, you have the shirt to match. But this is something that you can definitely do because there's always in this world some issue that you need to bring people's attention to. And if you're this type of person who likes to do political type of art, editorial type of art, then this can be something that you can preoccupy your time and energy with because people always respond. You're always going to find where your particular style of art in this arena will resonate with someone else. PSA, political art. Hey, this one is one of my favorites. Three-dimensional caricature character design. What you do is this. In step one, you draw a profile view of a caricature of a person's face or a cartoon. Make sure that it's as exaggerated as you can make it. That's going to help you in the next step. Now, once you've completed your picture of the person or the cartoon, then you take your clay and model what you've seen. I've found that for some reason, when I do a profile, it's much, much easier to make the clay model. And you don't have to use this standard red clay like I use. There's a company that's called Sculpey that makes 30 vibrant colors of clay. It comes in a pack. It costs something like $31, which is definitely a steal. I found out about this caricature method when I attended my first convention in Las Vegas, and it was I think it was called the 3D model category. I was fascinated with it. I couldn't wait to try it when I got home, and I did. This is something that you can definitely use for your own artistic development and enjoyment. And also, if you do gift caricatures of people, this is something extra that you can offer them. Chibi. If you're a fan of Japanese art, anime, manga, you'll see these type of chibi characters popping up everywhere in Japanese pop culture, particularly animated cartoons. The chibi character is usually the goofy sidekick of the hero of Japanese adventure stories, or they can be the mischievous character that always seems to get himself into trouble and foul up things. They're the comedy relief of the Japanese pop culture animated world. What's great about drawing chibis is that they're easy to draw. They're characterized by a very small body, small limbs, cute, and a large, large head with animated expressions. Animated and exaggerated, I should say. Anyway, these characters, once you learn how to draw them, you can incorporate them into your caricature, how can I say, your caricature drawing when you're drawing people at parties and special events, and especially for mascots and avatars in social media. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If you like graffiti and drawing characters, then this is something that you can definitely do. Graffiti, I don't even know how to categorize this, but if you have the ability to transform letters into different cartoon characters of somebody's name, that's my name, by the way, if you can make out the ELGIN in that particular picture. But if you have the ability to do that, then you can make some good money as a street artist. Not only caricature artists are on the street drawing pictures. I've seen artists do wonderful things, transforming people's names into characters and doing this graffiti type of art that I can't really, that I don't really have a name for, but I know that it works. Here's how you can develop this. You make up your own alphabet of different characters, whether they be the Snoopy here or a circle, anything that involves a circle, making that into a sun or a bowling ball or a bomb or something like that. Whatever your particular alphabetic letters look like, you practice all 26 of them. And whenever somebody's name comes in, well, you just plug in one of those characters that you made up. So this does take some planning, but I found that at kids' parties especially, this type of thing works. So it's definitely something that I recommend that you do, but you must practice this. And once you get good at it, you can just pop off the name. Now, when you get off of line, see if you can figure out what's ELGIN in this, and get back to me in the comments. Well, folks, we've come to the end of the video. Hope you were entertained, informed, but most of all, inspired to make great art, because that's what this channel is all about, giving you great inspirational stuff that you can use. And if you'd like to see more great content like this, then do me one favor. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Come on. Don't just look at it. Push the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment also. I love to read your comments. As usual, this is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. Feel free to email me at cartoons4u2@aol.com. That's cartoons, the number 4, the letter U, the number 2 @aol.com.